So we're gonna do about an hour, and I just want to not be able to knock it out. Give you guys a good hour, on your family's food, whatever you guys want to do. But these will be three great geo-farming or three great lead generating options. Again, you can use these in nationwide, basically. This is more the beginner level. I have some extended higher level stuff, but this is just kind of beginner stuff, guys. So um, let's get started. First, I always think you guys should have like something about you can rattle off. I usually say I've been in real estate 9 years. I have a team of 3. I usually do about 10 million a year on average. It's okay if you said, I do about 1.5 million. That's why you're part of a team's kind of nice. You can say I have inflated numbers. But then I go into, I have 3 little girls. We live on a little mini farmette, and I love real estate. And so I have this little thing. If anybody asks who I am or why are you calling me, you have something on who you are, right? That's nice. And I say that even at my listing appointments, and I'll walk in, right? All righty. Let me get to, I'm going to start off with geofarming. First, what geofarming is basically picking an area and then farming that area. There are strong ways to hit that with letters, door knocking. There's all those different follow-ups. This strategy that I have basically goes right to the source and kind of asks them, what do you want to do? So I use RedX. This is the only thing in this whole thing. It's a paid portion that I use. I use RedX. There's Vulcan. There's a bunch of different ones. But basically, you're just getting the homeowners' phone numbers, which sometimes can be hard out there. And then this system actually scrubs it against the do not call list, because at the end of the day, these calls are straight solicitors. If they have that push 8 for solicitation, that kind of deal, make sure and adhere to that. So what I will do, and what I prefer doing, is finding an area that I'm comfortable with, so the call even sounds more comfortable, that's around me, but a kind of a high high area or high concentration of homes, kind of little neighborhoods, right? So I did Dayton. I showed them last time in Dayton, so I'll do Dayton again just to show you it can be used anywhere. So let's pick this house right here. These guys don't know it, but they're gonna get picked as the pick. So this one here, they'll do a range of 100 houses around, actually 100 houses around there. And again, there's different systems. I'm just showing you this one. If anybody wants me to run a list, I can do that for you too. I usually want them to filter out. I usually want them to have ownership of 18 months or so, because usually they aren't going to move, in the first year, or they just bought it, that kind of deal. There you go. I had one more coming in. Hey, bud, we're doing geo-farming. I was saying this is the only, I use RedX to get my data. This is the only paid thing I do really at all right now. It's about $100 a month. You get a ton of leads through it. These are just cold leads. The nice thing about it is it does scrub against the do not call list. So I wanted to show that you can use this in any market. So Jessica's out there in Dayton, Ohio. So I picked this house here. I'm going to use this as an example. Again, this is RedX, or known as Vortex. I'm going to get a cluster of 100. And sometimes, like, I'll have I'll know the school district, right? And I'll have a client that wants to be in a certain school district. So I'll hit that school district. Let's run this real quick. And then I'll show you my scripts and such on how to get these. The script that I've been using, I got to tell you, I have not had one person yell at me. Some of these I've done 3 hours, 2 hours of calling and not really got anywhere at all. And then other days, it's been two days that I can think of, no joke, the first call I've made, yeah, I'm in the middle of a divorce, I do need to sell. So like, you just don't know with these. But these are going right to the person and asking them. I'd say this is probably mid-funnel leads, not even top funnel. Whenever I say that, treat your leads as a funnel. When they're top of the funnel, it's going to take them a lot longer to get down to the bottom. Mid-funnel mean they're getting there, they're warm. And then bottom funnel is they're just, hey, I need to sell like this week. So that's when I talk about a funnel lead. These are probably mid-funnel. So whenever you go into these, they are, again, scrubbed for the do not call. You can't call with any of these here. This is a do not call. But basically, I'll go through these. So here's a cell phone here. Here's their address. And now it's time for the script. So there's a couple different ways to approach this. I'm going to give you guys 3 different scripts. This is one where I'm just looking in that neighborhood And usually, like I said, I want to know the neighborhood just a little bit so I can say, oh, you're just around from that park, or something like that. So they know I'm somebody not in like somewhere in the middle of nowhere calling them, it makes them feel a little bit more attached to you and willing to talk, right? So I start and I'll do, hey, is this the owner of 864 Crestmont? And then usually they're like, yeah, yeah. Hey, this is Sadler Priest. I'm a local realtor here in whatever town that is. I'm a local realtor here in Dayton. Hey, I have a family, and this is why you put whatever really makes sense for there. Some of the neighborhoods will be like 55 and over, so it doesn't make sense to say you're calling with kids or newlyweds, right? So whatever makes sense, I put different stuff in here. But usually I'll say I have a family, so they I think feel more endearing when you say like what you're actually looking for. Not I have a lead or a buyer. You're saying I have a family or I have this young couple. They're looking for a home in Summit Township School District. I wanted to ask if you, maybe any of your neighbors have thought about selling in the next couple months. And again, I've had people say, I'm getting ready to get a divorce here. I want this gone. Or, my neighbor actually was just over here talking about selling just the other day. So you kind of talk, sometimes they're like, no, 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 we're good. But again, this is the part to kind of create a little bit of rapport with them. So again, if they say that they're ready to talk with you or they have a neighbor, follow that path, get the number, set up the appointment, go, right? And that has happened. I've done 2 or 3 sometimes in an hour, and again, you just never know, right? So this is straight cold calling. But again, this is, I think, a warm conversation with them, and I'm going to show you a couple more here. But then at the end, if they're just like, no, 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 we aren't selling or whatever, I usually say, all right, oh geez, and kind of give them like I don't want to say, I'm trying to be like their friend, so I just do the, this is how I do it. Again, there's 100 different ways to do it. This is how I do it. I kind of goes, oh geez. We'll tell you what, I know you aren't selling right now. If you can give me your email, I'll make sure not to really bug you, but I'll send you out a CMA, so you know what your house is worth, maybe once a year, here in 6 months. And then when it is time to sell, why don't you give me a ring? And then I get their email probably 8 out of 10 times, and then I slap it into a database, and then I start hitting them with monthly CMAs and market reports. So eventually they will most likely, hopefully, come or at least see my name a lot, right? I do say remember to smile when you're making these calls. People can feel it through your energy through the phone when you're talking. It just sounds better when you're smiling. Another way to approach these, this is really cool. If you sold a house and you had multiple offers on it, let's say that we sold this house at 864 Crestmore. What I did there again is did a circle around it. Now they say there's a statistic that you're supposed to get a hold of whatever house you sold, but the 5 to the left, the 5 to the right, and then the 10 across the street. So those are the ones you're supposed to, and one of those people, there's like a statistic, one of those people will sell like in the next 6 months. So anyways, what I'm saying is if you drop this pin, you'll get all the numbers and then you come back to a different script. And again, I don't never say which brokerage I'm with. They don't care half the time. They just want to know you're a realtor. So going into, I'm with Berkshire Hathaway, I'm with Compass, I'm with whatever it is, like they don't care. It almost just confuses them. Just tell them you're a realtor. And then if it gets that, obviously tell them where you're at. And I say I'm a realtor in whatever town I'm calling. If I'm calling Cranberry, if I'm calling Pittsburgh, wherever, I'll say I'm a local realtor in Pittsburgh. So it makes them feel, again, you're just right down the street from them, So what I'll do, like if it's just sold, hey, 123 Main just sold, your neighbor there. Did you know it sold for this? Wait, I kind of bumbled that. 123 Main Street, your neighbor there just sold for 560,000. Yeah, it's crazy, right? We still have buyers that we couldn't get in there. And then you go into, I wanted to ask if any neighbors maybe or you thought about selling coming up. And again, I'm not really kind of pushing them as a sales agent. I'm just kind of being like to buddy, hey, do you have anything to sell? And again, I've been yelled at one time with this, and the conversations usually go pretty good. Or you can go into, if you had the buyer, be like, hey, 123, your neighbor over there, it just sold. And I toured the home with a family and they need a little bit more yard. They really like the neighborhood, and then that's kind of what you go into. The rest of the script's the same, basically. I wanted to ask if your neighbors had thought about selling. A lot of times when you're saying it's a family or with kids or anything like that, I'm telling you, they feel like they want to help almost. They're like, I'll check with my neighbors. I have a lot of people that want to go and work for me, not, and they want to go ask around and see because they think I have this family, which I usually don't. It's just I have a series of leads to go that I could say. But here's another one where one just listed right in that neighborhood. You could put the pin. get all of them around it. Again, hey, my name is Sadler Priest. I'm a local realtor here in Dayton. Hey, 123 Main, your neighbor there just listed. Now's a great time to capitalize on all their extra marketing. You're getting a ton of overflow, and your house might even go above. You'll have competing bids probably. So you can go that route. Or, and you don't, this doesn't even have to be your listing, it can be somebody else's listing. You can just say, hey, there was just a house listed. Say there's a house listed, right? And 123, your neighbor. Or I have a family that really loves that neighborhood, but the house just isn't the one. This is one, look at the listing and see if maybe it like has a 1-car garage, and then you're going to call and see if people have 2-car garages, right? So it gives you a reason, and they understand, they feel very comfortable with you at the end of these calls that I have with them. They're usually pretty nice. And then again, this is kind of if they're telling you no, it's still an opportunity to get their email and start hitting them with CMAs, because they might see a price come by in a year and say, man, that's a lot more than I thought. And there you go, you're in the door. Okay. There's those scripts. Does anybody have any questions on this specific on GeoFarming? Now there's a Red X, there's Vulcan, there's a bunch of different ones. You can maybe even get this for free site. I don't know. I just use Red X. And then basically what I'll do is I'll call each number and go on to the next. If I get a voicemail, I'll tell them, say that voicemail, because I'll get these callbacks and I have no clue who they are. So I started saying, hey, I'm just, a local realtor. And I get people texting me saying, hey, I'm not trying to sell right now. I'm going to sell in a year though. So follow up next summer. I have people in my database that I have scheduled to call the next summer. I have one that's 3 years out. They said, I want to call pay in 3 years when my kid's out of college. I will sell. I'm going to call them every year just to say hi through this time, because I have them in my database. So I can tell you there was a month, probably 4 months ago, there was a week that I had, and I closed. It was 10 grand commissions total with the closings, and that was all from this right here. Called a neighbor. Yeah, I do want to sell, actually. Sometimes they're just sitting there. They don't know where to start, right? So again, sometimes you'll call entire neighborhoods and you won't get anything. Sometimes we've had people first call. And you'll kind of learn some of these numbers, like the office numbers that say, oh, I don't call, they're usually wrong. So you'll kind of learn through that. But again, I can fly through these pretty quickly and just do one call, leave it, go on. I usually don't hit these guys up over and over again, because I'm not trying to be that sales guy. I'm just trying to solve a problem for my client and hoping they can help, right? So that is GeoFarming. Again, anybody have any questions on this? I put a link in the chat for these scripts. You can, again, make them your own. Make them your own. You don't have to follow how I do it. I kind of be like the big boop, boop. It's already a call with you, buddy. You want to give me some money? And so other people are more direct. We have a house to sell. We need to get this done. It's just not what I do. So, all right, I'm going to move on to that. Here's the TikTok. All right, so the next one I want to go into is, I give you the scripts and the why. Next one is squeeze pages. So I know that like Berkshire agents use KB Core, and I know for a fact that there is a squeeze page capability in that. So whatever CRM you use, the point of a squeeze page is just to gather their information. If not, you're just letting them look at all your stuff, and it's not really gathering anything. They're just window shopping. So the goal of the squeeze page is to gather their information, basically, is what it is. What I typically will do, and I'll show you a little tricks that have worked for me in Marketplace. And the reason why I say Marketplace is because if you're just posting on your friends, on your page and tagging your buddies and stuff, it's just your circle of friends that's seeing that. When you go to Marketplace, you're seeing 10, 20, 30,000 people that aren't your friends, but they're in Marketplace. So you're getting a wide variety of people that are not your friends, which, you need to get new customers in the door. That's, for me, how you do it. So, hey, Jamie. So I'm going to show you what I do here. Home for sale.
I was trying to say hi.
Yeah, it's all right. People I'm sure have posted their stuff in here, but the way I put this, I feel gets attention. If I have made a little reel or something, I might slap it in here. For photos, what I'll typically do is I'm going to add probably 5 or 6. I'll go to the listings. Let me just go. In South Bay. So usually what I'll do, you can't share other people's listings. However, you can ask permission to do it. I'll try and get 5 kind of good looking photos. You can ask permission to share. If it's with somebody else's brokerage, you have to make sure that everybody and their mom knows that it's not your listing and that it's provided by Compass or Berkshire or whoever it is. You got to make sure it's provided that. So, but if you do your own brokerages and ask for people in your own brokerage, it's not really a problem to do this. So, and usually sharing somebody's listing compared to posting to marketplace is a little bit different. So make sure you tell them what you're doing if you ask permission. Me, I don't care. Anybody can share whatever they want. So usually I'll just get like 5 or 6 photos. I don't want to give away the entire kit and caboodle. I'll get whatever description I had written. I'm doing this on a different one because I don't want mine. I've done all the squeeze pages on and stuff, so I don't really want to mess with it for a sec. I'll usually come to Chat GPT, and you can just copy paste what you have. And then I'll put that into 3. That's what I'm looking for. List. Can't think of what I'm thinking there. Anyways, so this is what I'll typically do so it looks better and it catches more attention, I have found. So add photos, I'll add like 5. Again, I'm not trying to give them everything. I want them to want more. I'm just trying to tease them a little bit, right? I think my kids are getting in trouble upstairs. Get it so it makes sense in the photo order. Home for sale. House. Just whatever. Just 79. I'm not going to post this so everybody knows. Just want to show you how to get this. Enough. Don't miss this. And of course, it took away my thing. So I usually try and put in little emojis. It does catch people's attention more so. Here's another little trick for you guys. Emojipedia.org is a really cool place. I want to put hand arrow right. It's all free. Click. And then there's different stuff like, let me use bow and arrow. Why not? I'm gonna use bow and arrow for this thing. Why not? So here it is. So emojipedia.org is awesome. So you can find your stuff real easy if you want. Copied. And this again, I'm just trying to get people to actually notice it and stop the doom scroll, right? And then at the end, oops, more photos and price information. Sorry that's taking long, but I'm just showing my process here on how I do this. Get them more information, and then now I got to get them to actually click on something and see what's happening. So this is Lofty. Again, I know how to create these in KV Core, and you can create these in KV Core very easily. You have to be connected to your MLS. So I guess whichever one I'm using here isn't a great, wait, one that's 4198 Battle Ridge. So all right, and if you're doing Lofty, if you guys are using Lofty, and some people are, you have to go to all listings, get out of my listings, and go to all listings to do that. You search here, there it is, and then to create a squeeze page on this one. So Lofty is cool because I can hit here and it'll post to all 4 of these things. But what I'm getting from here is it does create a squeeze page. So all I'm doing from that is really just get the squeeze page. If it's your own listing with Loft, you guys do have Lofty and you're on a team, you can share it right there. And it'll share it all your stuff. But anyways, I'm just trying to get the squeeze page off it. And what I'll do is doesn't look pretty. Go here. Anyways, I'm just going to leave it there. It should look a little cleaner than that, but that'll get them to the same place. If you guys want to look and see what everybody else is seeing whenever that. I think you can click on that and just get to the point. Oops, that's why I double grabbed it. Oops, sorry, technical difficulty here. I'll do it here. Anyways, you want to get your squeeze page. There we go. So if you guys want to see what the squeeze page, just click on that. And that's what the consumer will see. I'm logged in, so it might look a little different, but that's what the consumer will see. And basically they see 2 or 3 photos and then it asks for all their information. Don't put your info in there or else it'll all go to my CRM. And then once it comes to your CRM, you can follow up immediately. You can start calling them. I guess I haven't printed the script, but basically the script for that is call and say, hey, I saw you registered. You're looking at a couple houses on my website. You know, what brought you, what got you looking here today? Maybe I can help you out. You want to open, I don't have the script for that, but basically you're going to get the buyers, you're going to call them. You want to ask open-ended questions to them. What brought you to the site? Have you been looking for a while? You know, those kind of questions that keep them talking and engaged with you. On KV Core and some of your CRMs, you should have it set up so that there's a flow. When these new leads come in, I have it set up so it'll start just texting and talking to them so I don't have to. The leads that come off of this, I'll tell you, are high funnel, top of funnel people. They're more clickers. So you might get 20, 30 leads. You might convert 2 or 3 of them. So just, you know, you might not want to spend a ton of time. The people that are on those that they want it, they'll reach out and keep bugging you on it. So that's good. But these are ones that they're looking at houses, so they're probably going to buy, but they might be 6 months, a year out or something like that. So, but you get their information, you put them on a drip and you start communicating with them, you know, regularly. So that is basically how I do that: property square feet, laundry type. But I found making it look like this, wherever this is. I don't remember where this is. But you want to make it sound intriguing. You know, won't last long, some crap like that. I do like making this into 3 different bullet points, or even smaller than this even has been good lately. 3 bed, 2 bath, you know, do another one, large deck, you know. But the bullet points I'm finding are getting more people's attention. And then again, you're really just trying to get them to click on this link so that you can gather information and start them in a process of seeing you on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. So when they're ready to buy, they buy. Again, top of funnel, but it does work. Listings are obviously the easiest thing to get leads off of. So lead page, I'm going to close this up. That. All right, so now I'm going to talk about, this has been my favorite thing lately. This has been my favorite thing lately, and it's been lead magnets. Lead magnets they're free, right? They're free items. However, you're kind of trading them. They're trading them for their information. You're trading valuable insights for their information. So even you might say that this thing that I put out today was a lead magnet, but it was targeted at agents. Now, some of you agents, I said get on the phone, but some of you guys reached out and said, hey, send me that info. I'd like to get on there. That's because I put out a piece of information, it looked valuable, and you said, hey, I'll come to that. So that's a lead magnet when it comes, but this can be worked with buyers and sellers, no matter what you're growing. So I'm going to play this real quick because I got this, part of this is from him, which I love. He has a great example of a lead magnet, and then I'll talk to you about a couple of other examples and maybe how to set them up, okay? Give me a thumbs up. Kathy, probably if you can hear this, I guess, because I can see you the easiest. Can you see that?
No, we can't hear it. We can see it, but we can't hear it.
I don't know how to play this on here so you can hear it. I'm just gonna put it here for you guys to watch later. All right, put it in the chat for you guys to watch later. Basically, he's talking about, everybody's talking about this one funnel away, and all this stuff, but it's so technical. Like he's saying that we have agents that can't even like mute their phone or can't even get the volume to work when they're trying to play something on a Zoom. So, stuff like that. So they're saying that people can't, there's all these different things. And basically, you don't need to worry about these funnels. A lead magnet, the guy has on here and says, hey, if you want my 6 bulletproof listing ideas that I give to my platinum members, comment me, right? And so he's getting a ton of comments, ton of engagement, but not only people are commenting me, he's adding that creates a second comment to him saying DM sent. So that creates with Facebook more engagement. And then actually when you DM them off of that, then it just creates much more engagement. So I'm going to show you guys a couple examples of different stuff that you can do to it. But basically, it's just trying to create a high value converting offer. So it's a piece of value. It doesn't have to be the whole kit and caboodle, but it's a piece of value that you're giving away for free, or you're trading for their email address. You're trading for just a bit of information is really what it is. Let me show you in here. So in Lofty, we actually have Lofty. There's actually some examples in here, which I'm going to use because it's easier. I think it was in here. Yes. Oh, yeah. So here's one that's like a buyer guide download. So you can go, I think you can go on Canva and such. If you have Lofty, these are already built in. There might be some on KV Core. Here's a good one that's kind of the vanilla, easy one that a lot of people do. Here's your free buyer's guide, right? Just starting buying, here's your free buyer's guide. Get your buyer's guide. So here's your piece of free information that you're giving out. You're going to create you have to create a buyer's guide for this. It's going to take a little bit of work. But once you create this buyer's guide, you're done with it. You don't have to do it ever again. Do me a favor, Samantha, can you Facebook me your buyer's guide so I can give an example in a minute? But anyways, this gives you the ability to load it up. And what are you doing? Hey, I have this, explore what's available with the best values, financing. We'll go over everything. We just need your name, and you can say if they want phone or email, but just we want your name and email, submit, and we'll send it right to you. And all that's doing is making it so that we can follow up. Now we got somebody that's interested in the buying process that we can now follow up with. And again, this was free. All you did is create this, and you can put this out again. You can boost it. You can put this in other markets even. You can put this across the United States, as long as it's a thing for, maybe I'll see that in a minute. As long as it's, a piece of value and make it obviously neutral for the entire nation, but you can do this. People do another one that's really cool, I think. Don't get caught out in the cold this summer. Here's 5. Don't get caught out in the cold this summer. 5 things to keep your kids warm while they have fun, this winter. And then you're just going to send them a local guide to like 5 things they can do this winter that are inside, is all it is. But basically, all you're looking for is you're going to create a piece of value of some sort, and then you're giving it away for a piece of their information. Now, the piece of value that you're giving usually dictates what kind of customer it is. So if you're giving, value to the search